A lot of new stuff going on.
تا وقتی که انشالله این کاخ سفید را حسینیه فریادمون همین است که مرگ بر آمریکا.
So the reports I'm seeing in Michigan, this is what's going on. We've already heard that they get to play their loudspeakers across the city, starting before you're even awake and going until after you go to bed. And they're sitting there in those big churches shouting death to Americans. It says Muslims in Australia chanting, "We await orders." The call for jihad. Does America really want to allow this, let alone the whole world? And did you hear the FBI wants to take control of the internet? Yeah, regarding the Charlie Kirk thing, Kash Patel is bloating that they were really quick on this. Already got the guy. And we need to shut down the internet because it's full of lies. And you won't believe what I found out about the old flu shot in seniors. Numbers don't add up. Along with that, major US pharmacy chain has officially closed nationwide after 62 years. And it's a big one. I'll tell you which one that is. Did you guys know that Tennessee is using a loophole through the foster care system to bring illegals into America? Court-ordered document proof that this is happening. I'll let you know more about that. All at the same time, I'm seeing posts like this. Donald Trump wants to retake the census and only count American citizens. Are you okay with that? We'll cover that. Also, there's a big food recall, stuff that might be on your shelves. This is interesting. Breaking news. The Washington Examiner reports that the U.S. forces on Puerto Rico are now ready to launch territorial seizure operation on Venezuelan territory. Well, that seems to be picking up. And if you didn't know, thousands of users are canceling Netflix. How much longer is Netflix going to be around? Because I hear they're losing billions. I'll tell you why if you don't know. And regarding this government shutdown, yeah, I know a lot of you guys think it's a bunch of political games, but some of us expect mail. Big question is USPS affected by the government shutdown? And what to know. Important things happening right now that affect you coming right up. Hey guys, my name is Cohen here at Riverside Homestead, and if you're brand new here, welcome. And if you guys are into prepping tips, emergency preparedness, and most important, news and awareness that affects you, be sure to start this video off with a like, hit that notification bell so you guys can stay up to date, and let's begin. All right guys, if you guys appreciate these updates, be sure to start this off with a like, and consider subscribing so you guys can stay up to date. Now, one of you guys sent me this, very disturbing. It says, an entire auditorium of Muslims shout out death to Americans. In quotes, it says, until we turn the White House into Hassania Shiite Islamic Center, don't know how to pronounce that, we will all continue to shout death to Americans. It says Islam is not compatible with the Western civilization. Listen to this, it's very disturbing.
فریادمون همین است که مرگ بر آمریکا.
Just a couple comments on this. Scary election denier says, how is anyone okay with this? We need ICE in there now, deporting these people. Stray Dog says, we not stopping this, America? Why are we not developing laws to stop this? They're calling death to America and Americans. Why are we not removing them from our nation? It says the EU and the UK have already been taken over. President Trump, you are the only one that can remove these Muslims from America. They hate us. They want to take us over. Please save America. Ken raises a good point. They have been collapsing civilization since the days of Muhammad. We won't be the first nor the last. Guys, it's really happening. Here's the two locations right here in Michigan. This video right here is Muslims in Australia chanting, we are awaiting orders, the call for jihad. I think any nation allowing this is brain dead. Watch.
Muslims need to be deported and banned from Western society. Every single last one of them. Yes, we're supposed to love everybody. That doesn't mean we're supposed to be stupid and commit suicide. Nobody with 2 functioning brain cells allows an enemy into their home. You don't open your door to somebody that means you harm and say, oh, I'm being loving. No, you're an idiot. Get this through your head, all right? Muslims don't assimilate. Wherever Muslims go, they do not assimilate to the culture or the society that they live in. They have allegiance to only one thing, and that is their own laws, their religious laws. Their religion comes number one, and they are doing everything they can to bring their laws and their customs and overtake ours.
How to establish the Islamic State. Islam aims to achieve certain goals, and take over other civilizations.
Conquer these two civilizations. You're going to be in charge of this land. That Islamic civilization is going to be supreme.
Time will come that you will destroy the two biggest superpowers. We need to organize. We need to come together. We need to be united.
We know what America plans. يَمْكُرُونَ وَيَمْكُرُ اللَّهُ. Allah says they plan and we plan.
I mean, seriously, guys, have you looked at who's doing all the bombings? Have you looked at who's doing the hijacking, the attackers? Seriously, people need to wake up. It's even written in Deuteronomy. Foreigners who live in your land will gain more and more power while you gradually lose yours. They will have money to lend you, but you will have none to lend them. In the end, they will be your rulers. Share this out. People need to pay attention. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Get them out or let them in. Write it down there. And this is all in the midst of dealing with the Charlie Kirk deal. And take note, because now they're wanting to come after our freedom of speech, get control of the internet and what we post. Check this out. FBI Director Kash Patel says it right in an interview.
The simple answer, in my opinion, is social media is wildly out of control and there's too much clickbait in this country. And one of the things I highlighted at Congress in my testimony last week was if we want to protect our youth, we got to get more involved in social media and online platforms, because that's where the folks, the assassins of this world, get radicalized. That's where they're the lone wolf actors in general. And so we have to get after that problem set. And I asked for Congress' help in doing so. But speaking of Charlie Kirk, who was a very dear friend of mine, and then I was tasked with leading the nationwide manhunt to find the perpetrators involved. Of course we were going to use every resource we have to find every single person involved. And the investigation's still ongoing. But we, as one of the pillars of my leadership here at the FBI, is transparency. We've produced more documents to Congress than my last two predecessors combined by twofold. Just to put it in perspective. So when we take our investigations out to the streets, I have the same ethos. And this is how we got Charlie Kirk's assassin, alleged assassin, so fast. The Boston Marathon bomber, which happened in downtown Boston during the Boston Marathon, took 5 days, and there was a police officer who was killed in that manhunt. Luigi Mangione, who allegedly murdered an individual, the CEO of the healthcare company, in downtown Manhattan in broad daylight, took 5 days to find him. Our investigation is very much ongoing. But we've also, Armstrong, in an unusual thing, put out publicly more information as to what we found, because it is of such public importance. The flip side of that is the social media people get involved and they come run with their crazy conspiracy theories because it makes them money. It gives them clickbait. And I don't work for them and I don't respond to them. My duty is to the American people. If there was anyone else involved in Charlie Kirk's murder, you can look at our record. We'll find them and we'll get them.
Interesting, right? Because he's claiming that they found him so fast. But did they really find him? Or did his dad turn him in? And did they not get tens of thousands of online reports through this social media? Interesting that he takes all the credit. I like how this guy put it. Delete your handler says, you are watching a script install itself in real time. Step 1, eliminate public figure. Step 2, blame the internet. Step 3, appoint the state as moral gatekeeper. Says Charlie Kirk isn't a man, he's a trigger phase. Interesting, right? Some more news that's getting a lot of attention. The news in 2006, CBS News report, over 20 years, the percentage of seniors getting flu shots increased sharply from 15% to 65%. Now get this, flu deaths among the elderly should have taken a dramatic dip. Instead, they continue to climb. If the flu shots are effective, how could this possibly be the case?
Here's what scientists have found. Over 20 years, the percentage of seniors getting flu shots increased sharply from 15% to 65%. It stands to reason that flu deaths among the elderly should have taken a dramatic dip, making an X graph like this. Instead, flu deaths among the elderly continue to climb. It was hard to believe, so researchers at the National Institutes of Health set out to do a study adjusting for all kinds of factors that...
Now you can go down that rabbit hole. It's a big one. I can tell you what, I don't trust them. Just for kicks, put it down in the comments. Let me know if you guys get the flu shot or don't get the flu shot. We'll see how many people chime in and what their answers are. To go right along with that, huge news. One of the biggest pharmacies out there is going under. In news everywhere, Rite Aid has closed all of its locations nationwide after more than 60 years of operation, according to the company's website. And for those of you that have prescriptions there, which is probably a lot, the website gives customers a link to the searchable database to find out where their prescriptions have been transferred. So they've already took the liberty to transfer your prescription somewhere else. Let's hope it's convenient. And you guys sent me this too. Wow, Tennessee is using a loophole through the foster care system to bring illegals to America. Check this out.
So, the Tennessee Department of Children's Services is taking undocumented kids and they're putting them in state's custody in the state foster care system, which means the state taxpayers, that's coming out of the state budget. And then they are assisting these kids into getting what's a court order from the juvenile court that says that they're abandoned, and then they get a what's called an order of abandonment, and then they get a special circumstances juvenile immigration status, and then of course once they get that, they can bring their family over or do whatever. This is so clever on their part. You've got to remember how clever and how smart cartel immigration is. They make a lot of money on this. So I finally got my hands on a court order. I got my hands on a court order and I have a hard copy of it, and it is all about how they did this right here in Davidson County. I have told state legislators, I've told Congress people, this is totally illegal. Plus I have phone conversations stating that Commissioner Quinn, DCS Commissioner Quinn, is well aware of it, and she is central to it because she has told other providers to report to her if they have any issues with undocumented kids.
They're gonna find the loopholes, guys. They're gonna find them. Now, I don't know about the legitimacy of this one. Donald Trump wants to retake the census and only count American citizens. Are you okay with that? I understand why it's written that way, but I imagine what he's wanting to do is to eliminate voter fraud. So he wants to know how many actual citizens, American citizens, there are here, so we know how many people shouldn't be voting when all those votes tally up. I think that's what's at play here. Just a couple other big ones to tell you. If you didn't hear about this, only because I know this is probably sitting on a lot of people's shelves and it sits there for quite a while before you use it. Nationwide recall, popular mac and cheese pulled. Check your pantry. I think it's milk and cashews, but it has to do with allergens. Major undeclared allergen warnings. And it's the Goodles brand, Goodle Foods. That came out just this last month. So I know that's sitting on a lot of people's cupboards. Also in breaking news, the Washington Examiner reports that U.S. forces on Puerto Rico are now ready to launch territorial seizure operations on Venezuelan territory. If you don't think anything's gonna come from that, better put on your seatbelt. And did you hear this? Netflix? Some people are saying they're circling the drain, losing billions because people are canceling.
Cancel my Netflix account because I don't want my nephew and nieces to see that woke agenda, left liberal media stuff pushed down on them. They're too young for that.
Grandmother of two, and I am canceling my Netflix subscription because of those woke ass cartoons that they're throwing out there to try to indoctrinate our kids.
And as a dad of 3 kids, I'm also not going to support a company that pushes pro-trans content on my kids.
Just canceled my Netflix after I watched some clips from that show. I have 2 boys and I don't want to let that sewer pipe continue, so no more Netflix ever.
I am canceling Netflix today. They're not even hiding it anymore, people. They are not even hiding anymore. Boycott Netflix. It is a no, done deal. You guys don't get my money. Bye-bye.
I'm canceling my Netflix subscription along with thousands of others because I have eyes to see and ears to hear them doing the thing that they said that they aren't going to do, which is indoctrinating our children into the transgender LGBTQ.
The list goes on. So if you guys don't know what happened, Elon Musk called to all of his hundreds of millions of followers on X to cancel their Netflix, stating something along the lines of Netflix playing cartoons that promotes extreme woke agenda and showing young ones stuff that they should not be seeing. Some are saying indoctrination. So hundreds of millions of people are getting exposed to the clarity on that one. In waves and groves, people are canceling their Netflix. And lots of people reporting, you promote that, you're not getting my money. And that's the way it should be. If you don't agree with it, don't fund it. And lastly, what I'll cover today, huge government shutdown. A lot of people are talking about it in the news. Is the USPS affected by the government shutdown? Because we all still want to get our packages. For those of you that don't tune in, US began the first day of federal government shutdown on Wednesday after the Senate failed to approve the stopgap funding measure before the midnight deadline. Federal agencies have started rolling back contingency plans, scaling back services, and furloughing thousands of workers while Democrats and Republicans remain deadlocked. Yeah, everybody's holding the ground. So what happens during a government shutdown? Real quick, during a government shutdown, many federal agencies and programs are forced to scale back or halt operations because Congress has not passed the necessary funding bills. But essential services like air traffic control, border security, and military operations continue to operate, but non-essential functions are paused, which means hundreds of thousands of federal employees are either furloughed, sent home without pay until funding is restored, or required to work without pay until the shutdown ends. And as for USPS, they say they're going to continue regular operation. For all those people ask, got a lot more coming down the pipe, guys, so make sure the notification bell's on and you're subscribed still, and keep prepping, keep learning, keep doing. We'll see you guys on the next one.